And Schiff has an important race of his own as well. He's facing off against Republican Steve Garvey to be California's next U.S. senator. But the way Schiff talks, it's almost as if he's focused on another opponent. His opposition to Donald Trump is a large part of his campaign. In fact, he rose to prominence spearheading Trump's first impeachment trial. And I recently went on a hike with the congressman for insight into his passions and politics.
A little bit hazy, but otherwise pretty gorgeous.
Congressman Adam Schiff is a lifelong hiker.
One of the things I really like about hiking is kind of getting away from it all.
I'm sure.
On a windy day with wildflowers blooming, Schiff enjoys the fruits of his labor, pushing legislation to protect and preserve wilderness areas surrounding Los Angeles.
You got mountain lions in your backyard, and you got coyotes, and if we don't preserve these spaces, there won't be any mountain lions left here, there won't be any bears left here, there won't be hiking trails for people, it'll be gone.
These days, Schiff is more often on the campaign trail.
And create millions of new green jobs, a Green New Deal.
After 23 years in the U.S. House, he's working to become California's next senator.
To take on the big fights for our economy, for our democracy, and for our planet.
It's challenging work, but it's enormously interesting every day. You get to make a positive difference in people's lives. These days, it's more difficult than ever, more ugly than ever. But I feel like if I left now, I would be abandoning the ship during a storm.
Schiff spearheaded President Trump's first impeachment trial in the House and also played a key role in the January 6th Select Committee investigating the attack on the U.S. Capitol. His resistance to the former president landed him in the national spotlight and put a target on his back.
Donald Trump has made you out to be one of his nemesises. Are you a nemesis of his?
I am proud to stand up to him. I think he is a dangerous demagogue. I think he's done unprecedented damage to the country, and if he got another chance, it would be even worse.
Little pencil neck Adam Schiff. Little Adam Schiff, how about that beauty? Little Adam Schiff.
Yet Congressman Schiff has maintained his sense of humor.
I was in New York with my daughter and walking down the street, and someone asked my daughter to hold their beer while we took a photo together. She's like, what am I now, the beer holder? And I said, Alexa, I'm just shocked that anybody can even recognize me. And she said without missing a beat, well, you know, Dad, it's the pencil neck.
Through it all, he has the full support of his family, including his wife, Eve. Yes, Adam and Eve have been married for nearly 30 years, but he says his wife and kids have gotten death threats.
She said, I just can't stand how millions of people just hate you. They just hate you. And I realized that either accept it or find another job. But sometimes I think for your family, it's not so easy.
We spoke with Schiff shortly after a jury unanimously convicted former President Trump of 34 felony counts relating to a scheme to illegally influence the 2016 election.
This is a scam. There's a rigged trial.
What if a convicted Donald Trump does get elected?
We have to take him at his word that on day one he intends to be a dictator. I've never had a president in my lifetime who seems so determined every day to find new and inventive ways to divide people. Once he has left the stage for good, which I hope will be this November, there will undoubtedly be Trump imitators. But he is a uniquely gifted grifter.
In November, Schiff faces off against Republican Steve Garvey. The baseball legend is a first-time candidate. Schiff has a comfortable lead in the polls and remains focused on his work. That includes spearheading a bill addressing the climate crisis to help victims of extreme weather events get reinsured.
And make sure that insurance companies have to cover fire and flood and other natural disasters. And it's a rising crisis in the state and around the country.
He's also deeply concerned about the war in Gaza as it continues triggering protests and anti-Semitism on college campuses.
In terms of Netanyahu, I think his approach to the war has been horribly wrong-headed, and I think that his leadership has been catastrophic. I want to see Israel recognize a Palestinian state, and if we want to have a permanent peace, we need to get to two states.
Schiff hopes becoming a senator will afford him more opportunities to reach across party lines, teaming up for the good of the country.
You know, my North Star has always been my 2 kids. I want my kids to be proud of what their dad did when he had a chance to serve. If you're not going to try to do the right thing, then what the hell are you there for?
This is beautiful.
Yeah, spectacular.